Step into a world where folklore meets the supernatural, where legends come to life and mysterious tales unfold. Welcome to Memory Chronicles, where the past holds the key to unlocking the secrets of the present. Join us as we delve into the realms of myth and mystery, exploring the untold stories that linger in the shadows of history. Get ready to embark on a journey of discovery with us.
Hello, this is Memory. Oh, what's up? It's you again. Okay. I've heard a little bit about it. I could do my research and let the people know. I got it. Okay. I'm listening. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. This was your favorite legend. Oh, okay. Like every other legend. I'm sorry. Okay. I'm quiet. Okay, well, let me get on with the show. All right, thank you for calling in. Ghostly from the friendly past. I'll let the people know about this next folklore. Thank you. All right, bye. Welcome back, my friendlings, to the Memory Chronicles podcast. I am your host, author, and sister friend, Memory. I'm so excited for today's episode, as you all heard from my producer and co-host, the ghost from the friendly past. It is going to be a good one. Let's gather around the fire and let's get into this.
We're definitely back, and I want to thank every single one of you for downloading the podcast episodes, for subscribing to the podcast. Thank you so much for watching the visuals on the YouTube channel, and thank you so much, global audiences, for tuning in from lands of fire. I'm so humbled to be able to do the things that I do enjoy and to be able to share with you. Today I'm excited about this history dive. And if you're new here, welcome. My name, birth given name, is Memory, and hence Memory Chronicles podcast, okay? But not just that, we are taking a walk down memory lane into history. Get it? All right, enough of the corniness, but let's get into it. This is a historical spiritual channel, and with historical narration, I just want to give it the historical details of the legends and legacies of these amazing people, and also at the same time give it a little zhuzh of today's terminology. So if you're with it, let's get into it. You feel me? All right, so picture this. Let's get into it. Picture this. And we're dropping podcasts every Mondays at 6 a.m. on YouTube, and check on all your podcast platforms. If you do have an Alexa device, you could tell her or him to play the latest episode for Memory Chronicles. If you want to ask the device to play all the podcast episodes, the device will be able to do that. But let's get into it, right? Let's get into our time capsule. And wait, pause. Before we get into our time capsule, let's do this hyperbole real quick. Picture this. And if you are already born into prestige and lots of wealth, just still picture this. So picture this. You are born into this family structure made of millions and billions of dollars. You are a part of this rich, wealthy family that has a reputation in town for being, and in the country for being, one of the wealthiest families. So let's take our modern day billionaire. I'm trying to think of one because some of them are so controversial at this moment, but plug in whoever you know that's a billionaire today. And imagine being born into this billionaire's home or billionaire's home, being the child, one of the 6 children of these people. But imagine this, going against your family morals, values, and essentially the source of what provided wealth to them. Imagine your life's goal is to, let's say for instance, we're doing hyperboles. For me, I'm thinking Jeff Bezos. For those that are out there that don't know who Jeff Bezos is, he is the founder of Amazon. He and his wife are the founders of Amazon, and Jeff Bezos' net worth is about $195 billion. This is a hyperbole. This is not a call to action. We're just imagining and fantasizing right now. But imagine being born into Jeff Bezos' home, and then you go against everything that he stands for. Like you don't like Amazon, you despise Amazon, like you are out here on a rampage trying to liberate the Amazon workers, and you're trying to just sabotage, burn, just everything. And we're not doing it, but we're just doing a hyperbole, right? You're that one child in that household coming against that wealth, the source of the wealth, and everything it stands for, all for the sake of humanity. So let's get into it. I can't even hold my excitement anymore, because this story is amazing. And not only is it amazing, but it's so intriguing, especially for the boxing community. Now, I don't know if this is related or not. It's just I find it very interesting. So let's get into it. We are talking today. Now pause. We could get into our time capsule. We're going all the way back into the United States, the state of Kentucky, and the time period is about 1810. Today's topic is the riveting life and legacy of Cassius Marcellus Clay,
America's rebel abolitionist.
Cassius Marcellus Clay was born on October 19 in 1810. His legacy is one of resilience and really triumphant. So picture this. He's born into a family of wealth. His father is this well-known upper echelon slaver. His family has made their money with the production of slavery and owning plantations. They have the most plantations in Kentucky, and they are wealthy, above all wealthy, within this time period that Cassius Clay comes in to this world. So now they sent Cassius Clay in his youth. He's with the wealthy family, but now at times comes to college, they send Cassius Clay to Yale College, where his eyes are wide open to the realities of the world in which he lived in. It's no longer within the eyes of this prestigious family that he came from and the sheltered life he was raised on. It is at Yale College he meets an abolitionist there who's talking against slavery. This catches Cassius Clay's interest. And this, some say, is the turning point for Cassius Marcellus Clay. With that knowledge that he gets at Yale College, Cassius Clay is now on a mission. He becomes a politician because also with his family wealth, they were connected politically. His father was also a politician. So with all the connections that he has immersed through his birthright, he becomes a political figure. But guess what? He is a political figure within the progressive grand old party of Abraham Lincoln. And within the same party, he becomes a staunch anti-slavery abolitionist. So now Cassius Clay is on a mission. Not only is he an anti-slavery abolitionist, his whole thing now is determined to get back to the state of Kentucky to right the wrongs within his bloodline, because this is all he grew up on, and now his eyes have been opened to another reality, and he feels obligated to right the wrongs of his lineage and bloodline. So Cassius Clay, among 6 children of this household, he becomes, I guess, what we call in today's world the scapegoat. He probably was a middle child. But then, I'm just kidding. Shout out to the middle children out there. Shout out. Just kidding. And so Cassius Clay is determined to weaponize his political seating point. He is pointed in He's appointed as a political figure within the state of Kentucky, by the way, and as a Republican representative of the Grand Old Party, Lincoln's party. And not only that, Lincoln's party has bestowed him furthermore duties to sit in within the affairs of Russia at that time, to make sure that everything aligns with Russia as it pertains to the Civil War, and that, you know, there's all kinds of safeguards placed against the French and the British. And not only is that his only task as a member that has been elected 3 times into this seat in Kentucky, his other responsibilities under Lincoln's parties are with the anti-slavery abolitionists. So here's where it gets interesting, because his family is well loved, well adored, upper echelon, wealthy, rich. Everyone within the state of Kentucky knows them and respects them, but except for when Cassius Clay went with the Republican Grand Old Party and started expressing verbally, physically, his views that did not align with the way that he had been raised in his family structure. So the turn of events happened to where when Cassius Clay came back from Yale College, was appointed the seats within the Kentucky state to service the Republican Party, and everything was all good until Cassius started really honing in and expressing his views strongly on slavers and the movement of being anti-slavery. Now remember, at the top of the podcast we already discussed like his whole bloodline, their money, coins, dollars, their wealth is immersed in slavery. Like literally his parents and generational wealth has come from being slave owners. Now here he goes on this stand in the state of Kentucky first, riding really hard against slave owners and plantations. So the people say that the Clays had a lot of acres, a lot of slaves. So legend has it that Cassius Clay was like, not on my bloodline. And so Cassius Clay was out here burning up the acres of land that his folks owned. He was rebelling in the most interesting and intriguing fashion whatsoever, because he was against slavery. So check this out. Not only that, people turned on him because like, how dare you? Like, we like your family and all, and we liked you when you were a little boy and whatnot, but when you came back from Yale College, who is this? And what did they do with the old Cassius Marcellus Clay, right? So people started turning on him, so much so, legend has it, like there was all these types of people that wanted to kill him in assassination form. But check this out. This dude was a gangster. He was like, okay, bet. Y'all want to do a freaking walk down? What y'all want to do? What y'all want to do? You want to do a walk down? We could do a walk down. Wild Wild West style. He was never afraid to confront dangerous situations, y'all. And the craziest part about this dude was like, even with the walk downs, for those that are not Western savvy, walk downs, like just picture the Western movie, right? When two cowboys are in a duel back to back. You walk a few feet, you turn, you shoot, whoever dies, and who lives, lives. So picture that. Legend has it, he appeared in several of those and escaped unscathed. So guess what that does? That pisses people off more. Like, nah, bro, you got to go. Like, they were literally out here trying to assassinate dude, and he was on a rampage. This son of this wealthy man was on a rampage, tearing up everything he could, trying to free the slaves that belonged to his father, trying to do whatever he could do within his power. And all while he was doing that, and he was also a political figure, and all while he was trying to do all of that, they were on him. They were trying to assassinate him. The closest anyone ever got, allegedly, was a stabbing to his chest. And guess what? You guessed it, he survived. So all of this is going on. He's out here gathering up his father's slaves, trying to free them, trying to send them up north, burning down the plantation farms, running amok in the state of Kentucky. So much so that he, at one point in time, founded a newspaper called The True American. Founded the newspaper in Lexington, Kentucky, and people were like, oh, now you too bold. You doing too much. First of all, we saw what you're trying to do. We don't like it. But now you want to put this in the newspaper. Because remember, within the 1800s at that time, the newspapers are like social media, or are like your mainstream media, or your outlet where you get the tea. So now he publishes this. He founded this True American newspaper where he's publishing anti-slavery, abolitionist articles, just spamming them. This is a gangster right here. And people are like, okay, bet we still gonna try to kill you. And they still tried to come after Cassius Marcellus Clay, but he was like, okay. And they tried to destroy his newspaper building, y'all. They tried to burn it down. They tried to freaking sabotage him. But dude was like, okay, so y'all, this is what y'all want to do. Because they're like, yeah, you out here trying to wreak harm, and you out here burning plantation fields and whatnot. So we're gonna do you like how you're doing us, right? So Cassius Marcellus Clay is like, no problem, hold my beer, or hold my whiskey at that time, whatever they drank at that time, right? And he says, matter of fact, I'm just gonna move the entire newspaper to an anti-slavery, abolitionist friendly zone in Cincinnati, Ohio. This is where he continued to publish his articles and mass distribute his articles all across the country. And believe this, throughout all the assassination attempts, the closest anyone ever got to that man was a stabbing to his chest, in which he survived. Legend has it that this man fortified, imagine this too, while he was so bold that he knew that that people wanted his head on a platter. But he lived in Kentucky to face these people and to still fight, to duel these people. And he fortified his house, y'all. Back in the 1800s, this dude had all kinds of things fortifying his house just in case people tried it. Just in case people tried to roll up on him and kill him in his sleep. I mean, all kinds of duels. He survived a stabbing, duels, and the dude didn't run away. I know I'd have been like, I'm out of here. I don't even want to be anti-slavery abolitionist no more. I mean, let's just be real. But this is what you call a passion and a calling. Like Cassius Clay said, I'm going down. And throughout everything that he went through, y'all would not even believe this. The fact that the man lived in Kentucky with his enemies, the fact that the man had did everything that he had done. Look, I know his pappy was like, you off this wheel. I don't know who you think you are. But Cassius had his own coins because he was a politician as well. And then he had this whole newspaper. So he's like, I don't need my daddy coins. Cassius was like, if breaking generational curses was a person, if breaking generational struggles was a person. So he redeemed himself and his bloodline for himself. And believe it or not, Cassius Clay, he passed away at 92. I'm not laughing. I'm just like, yo, after all he had been, the man lived in the same state. Cassius Clay later years were marked by continued activism. He never stopped. And so much so that he founded a Cuban charitable aid society, supported the nationalization of railroads, and spoke against the burgeoning power of industrialists, delusioned with the Republican Party's post-Lincoln direction. He joined the liberal Republican movement and supported Democratic candidates before returning to the Republican fold in 1884. A figure of formidable presence, Clay was ever prepared for conflict, carrying multiple weapons, and even enlisting he enlisted a whole cannon at his home for protection. Dude knew what was up. His vigilant and defiant nature earned him a legacy as a rebel and a fighter, you would say. On July 22, 1903, Clay later on passed away at the ripe age of 92 years old. This man overcome by general exhaustion. I'm not laughing at it, but I'm just like, I'd have been tired. I'd have been like, you can have it, I'm out of here. I'm living in a whole nother state. I'll do my anti-slavery abolitionist work like in New York or wherever else the abolitionists resided at that time. But Cassius was like, I'm from Kentucky. This is where I'm finna be. And so he left behind daughters Laura and Mary Clay, who became notable women rights activists. His home, Whitehall, now stands as a state historic site, a testament to his enduring impact. Curiously, his name echoed through time, influencing the family of Herman Heaton Clay, who named his son Cassius Marcellus Clay in tribute. This namesake would pass the name to his own son, the legendary boxer who famously became Muhammad Ali, rejecting what he deemed a slave name and making a powerful statement on identity and legacy. Cassius Marcellus Clay's life, marked by fierce advocacy and resilience, left an indelible mark on American history and beyond, intertwining with the story of one of the world's most iconic athletes. His saga of valor and contradiction continues to inspire discussions around freedom, justice, and personal legacy. It has been my honor to bring you this story. Please share the video. You could feel free to take 30 to 60 second clips, share them on your social media posts. Thank you so much for tuning in. My whole takeaway from this amazing story in time is that you may come from a family, but that does not mean necessarily your family defines your destiny, your calling, and your future.
Thanks for tuning in to this episode of the Memory Chronicles podcast. Spread the word by sharing your favorite 30 to 60 second clips on your social media. It helps us connect with like-minded listeners like you. We're dropping new episodes every Monday at 6 a.m. Central Time, so set your alarms. Want to support the show? Hit our link tree in the description and buy us a coffee. Every bit helps. Interested in being a guest or curious about Memory's latest book projects? The Linktree has all the info you need. Catch us on YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram, our Memory Chronicles. Join our growing community by following, subscribing, liking, and sharing our content. From all of us here, and from Memory, thank you for your time and support. Stay safe, and see you next time.